Watching my channel, you may have noticed the young man who received 18 years in prison for a noise complaint. His name is Lis Garcia, and he lives in a small, isolated Texas town in the Panhandle. In my opinion, the whole judicial system in that isolated area has been running amok for years. And in my opinion, every person involved in this case is shady, which includes the public defender, the DA, the cop, the judge, even the sheriff. In my opinion, shady. Last week you saw me call out the cop who's told a few little lies on the stand. Today you're going to see me call out District Attorney Luke Inman, who was appointed by Rick Perry back in 2018. He has a reputation of putting criminals behind bars. The DA, or the state, or the prosecutor, district attorney, he's supposed to be working for the people. To many, he's the guy that ripped their family apart by taking their loved one away and putting him in jail for a minor crime with a lengthy sentence. People I'm speaking of are usually the brown, the black, and the very poor, those unable to financially secure a good lawyer. These people have been taught to obey and accept and never to challenge, in my opinion. In my opinion, this guy has been running the show for far too long. He deserves a crown because everything he says people jump to and do. For example, even the judge takes his recommendations and does what he asks or recommends. Now that we've established that, let's take a look at the first case that got Lis Garcia behind bars and probation. Lis Garcia was arrested on the 21st of December, and without even going to the first court date, where they make the announcements and all that, on the advice of counsel, he was basically told, just sign here. And that was 4 days after he was arrested. And I'm sure she had a promise of, we'll get you home for Christmas and we'll get you some probation, then we'll defer it and we'll get it off your record. Lis signed it. And then she marched right over to the DA's office and handed him her gift. Now, a district attorney with integrity would not have accepted that offering. A district attorney with integrity would not have accepted that plea. A DA with integrity would have questioned something like that. Who signs a guilty plea just like that? Lis Garcia did, because he believed what the public defender was telling him. Now let's look at the second part of this. James Borger. Supposedly he's the victim in this crime. He didn't know that because he never pressed charges against Lis Garcia. He never even knew anything about this whatsoever. And according to the family, Lis didn't really know what he was signing either. So Lis began his probation. It was working out really good for that first year. He vowed never to be tricked again. He read up on some laws and such in his spare time, taking care of his family. And then this happens.
Somebody called and complained about loud music, and I talked to him.
10 o'clock, so I mean,
it doesn't matter. It's disorderly conduct. Oh, it does?
It does. Because
do you want to go to jail for it?
I can't go to jail for that. I know,
yeah, you can. It's disorderly conduct. You think I don't know the law? 213, meet me over here. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
You can't arrest me.
Yes, I can.
You can, sir.
Oh, yes, I can.
You cannot come in here.
Yes, I can.
You can.
We'll turn it down.
No. You get out. You're under arrest.
No, sir, you cannot step in my house.
No.
This is the first.
Get in here.
You gotta have a warrant to come in.
Hey, don't push me.
You gotta have a warrant to
You're
come in.
blocking.
Hey, you gotta have a warrant. She just had a baby.
I'm trying to get
no,
you
but
out of the way.
You can't
Get
come in.
out of the way.
Hey, you can't. Hey, that's what
He
you
goes
got.
in custody.
You gotta have a warrant to come
He
in.
goes in custody.
You gotta have a warrant to come in.
Yes. And
You gotta. No, you can't arrest me. For what? You gotta have a warrant to come in.
Yes. And
You gotta. No, you can't arrest me. For what?
Grab your camera. Grab it. Fuck this shit.
You gotta have a warrant.
Come here.
You gotta have a warrant.
Hey, my baby's right there.
Hey, the baby! No!
Settle.
No! I know my laws. I've been in jail. I read the thing. You ain't not gonna go treat her. No! You go. I'm not gonna turn around for what?
Because I'm putting you in custody.
For what?
Because I'm detaining
what?
you. I just told you.
For what? No, you don't even got a search warrant to be in here. You need a search. Bring the search warrant. Until I see a search warrant.
209 children. Send us.
Where's the search warrant? You're in the house. You're in the house.
I'm not gonna ask you
You're
again.
in the house.
Hey, my baby.
You're in the house. You do a female, you touch the female, and you just
Get back.
Get back. You're in the house. You get back. Get back.
another
Get
unit.
back. You're over here. You're making me scared. You're pointing a taser. You're pointing a
Because you were
taser at
getting
me.
in my way of
You're
trying to
pointing
detain
a
him.
taser at me. You have to have a search warrant to be in the house.
Yes.
You have to have a search warrant to be
No,
in the
I
house. You do. Where is the search warrant?
Get
Where is
down.
the search warrant? When am I gonna get down? You're in the house. You
Get
came in
down.
without no search warrant. Without no search warrant. You can go over there. there telling me. But one thing, you're being wrong. You're being wrong right now. You're in the house without a search warrant.
All I'm asking.
You're not, and all I'm asking you to get the house because this ain't.
Get out!
In my opinion, you knew that he was right about the warrant, and you couldn't stand it, so you popped him. There goes that anger management stuff again. Listen to yourself screaming at him.
Get out! Put your hands behind your back right now or you're going to get it again.
When someone's on probation, they have to follow every single little rule that they put before you, even the tiniest one. And if not, you'll be what they call in violation. And if you do even worse things or several small things, they can revoke your probation and send you to prison. But in my opinion, these guys are sending so many people to prison on the tiniest little mistakes, therefore setting them up. There have been challenges, but none of them successful. And even the lawyers in that area, they obey, they accept, and they do not challenge the DA. You have to have really good reasons to revoke someone's probation. It can't be for like a non-crime, because that situation with the noise complaint never went to court. And it can't be for 3 times drinking, although they can do that. They can take away your probation for drinking, but that would be really dirty in the fact that they're trying to empty the prisons for being overcrowded. No, I call it a non-crime because of this. To legally arrest someone in a home rather than in a public place, absent consent or exigent circumstances, which you had neither, police officers must have a warrant. And according to the 1989 Supreme Court case, Oliver versus United States, that extends to beyond the interior of the house, like the curtilage. So that would be the porch. During the hearing, did any of those shady people, in my opinion, the shady judge, the shady DA, the shady public defender, did any of them say, "Hey, Mr. Police Officer, you can't go in there without a search warrant"? Did any of them say that? Nope, none of them said that. And they even made fun of the magical door that they had to get through in order to not be arrested. That was so uncalled for. So of course they appealed. Of course there was a new public defender that wrote the appeal. And she sent the appeal over to Luke Inman, our favorite shady guy, in my opinion. And he wrote the answer to her appeal. And in the answer he wrote that he deserves 18 years because he disobeyed the lying cop. And he consumed alcohol 3 times. Whoa. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to prove to you how shady Luke Inman is. And in my opinion, he'll go to any lengths to not lose a case. Because if you were the appeal judge, would you grant a new trial if you read this? Luke Inman writes, Lis Garcia intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly caused bodily harm to the Collinsworth County Sheriff by cutting him with a knife and exhibited a deadly weapon during the commission of the offense. Lis Garcia's lawyer argued that his sentence should be less because the court is not aware of the extent of the sheriff's injuries. Then he says, law enforcement personnel have a dangerous job and society relies on them to keep society safe, and thus society must, in turn, respect and protect their safety. What? Where does that come from? Do you see how shady that is? If you were the appeal judge, would you grant a new trial if you saw those lies, in my opinion? If you're thinking he just lied about that case, there are others. Let's talk to you about Michael Valles. Michael Valles, he got life in prison for fireworks, thanks to Mr. Inman. We had all his charges enhanced to receive that life imprisonment. Mr. Valles writes a letter to the court detailing how he used to be the boyfriend of Inman's wife and how he got tased by Kent Riley and is blinded in one eye because of it. Please read the letter. You are not going to believe it. We have a GoFundMe set up for Lis Garcia, and the details are in the description. And after we get him out, we're going to work on all the others